If you're like most business owners or executives, you're a slave to your inbox. This video is going to show you how to break free of that using automated inbox triage. If you're like me, you get a whole bunch of emails coming through every day. I get probably 200 a day, and the average business owner gets at least 100 a day. And to see which ones are important that you should pay attention to, you have to look at who it comes from, maybe a little bit of what the subject line is to scroll through, and you're scrolling through 10 or 15 or 20 whenever you go to your inbox to see if maybe there's one you should reply to. Like here, the only one that would be important at all would be this one because that's a lead that's coming into the business. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at this inbox triage and follow the same framework we have before, which is determine what the outcome is. In this case, there's two of them. Then look at the path to get to the outcomes, and then look at the tools, and I'll demonstrate them how you can do that. So the two outcomes here, one is having no important emails slip through the cracks, and two is an increased focus on what I need to be doing because I don't have to constantly go to my email inbox and look at every single email sender or subject line to determine which ones I have to pay attention to or act on. So to do that, we have two different paths we're going to look at. One is Tier 1, and this uses Google's Workspace Studio, where you set up a one-time automation where all of the emails that come into your Gmail inbox will get scanned once a day to see if there are any from the previous day that hadn't been opened, and then it'll group them by topic, all of the unopened emails, and send a daily digest with a summary so that you have one email each morning that you can look at to see what emails you missed the previous day to see if there's anything important, instead of having to go back through 50 or 100 emails to check them out. Then the second tier is real-time alerts. So this was built with an N8N automation where you set it up one time. That's a tool that I showed in a previous video that sets up automatic workflows. What this does is it goes to your Gmail inbox every 60 seconds to check for any emails based on what the subject line says and filtering for specific keywords that it looks out for. If there's an urgent keyword found, it'll send an urgent alert, and it's flagged in the email inbox so that you'll see that's an urgent alert, so you know that's an email you should pay attention to. And there's also the option of setting it up as a text alert. We're not going to go over that in this video. We're going to go over just the email, but that's also a possibility. And if it scans the subject lines and it doesn't find an urgent keyword, then it doesn't do anything. It doesn't bother you with any kind of notification. So let's go and look at this first tier first. And this is done through Google Workspace Studio using Gemini, which is an AI tool, which I'd mentioned in previous videos. And you can see there's all sorts of different options of things that you can do with this. But we're going to use this first one, which is get a daily summary of unread emails. Now, I set this up previously for myself back in December, and it's very simple. It's step one is there's a schedule, and it started on Monday at 8 a.m. when I first set it up back in December, and it repeats every weekday, Monday to Friday, and it goes for a year. The second step is recap unread emails, and there's a specific way that this gets set up on how it's going to do that. And step 3 is to notify me by email. Those are the 3 steps that get set up. That's it. So here's an example of the email that I got today, and you can see it's yesterday's unread emails. And there were no meeting update emails, so that was saying I'm all caught up there. These are things for my information, and these are broken down into sections. Professional development and coaching, emails by Ryan Fletcher about things that he's covering regarding time management being important for entrepreneurs, and a training that he has for teaching people how to get money for investing. Then this is an AI training schedule from Jonathan Mast and the different sessions that he has. Product Hunt Weekly Digest, that's a site that shows different apps that people have developed. Real estate listings, here's an email that came from somebody who has a new real estate listing in my area. And then there's a whole section of other notifications and promotions. This is designed to follow the structure that I had set up in this step over here. So that's one way of making sure that you don't have to spend as much time going through all of your emails as having a daily summary of the unread emails. Now, the other tier right here, which is real-time alerts, it started with this workflow that's in N8N. And this, what this does is it goes out every minute and it checks to see, is there anything, and you can see it started right now, is there anything in the inbox that's urgent or has specific keywords in the subject line? And you can see it ran here, it's running every minute, and it checks for urgent unread emails, and there weren't any. So it just stopped right there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a look at the email inbox, and you can see I've got various emails here, and that's what it's checking. So I'm going to go to my Hotmail inbox over here, which is on another screen. That's why you don't see it. And I'm going to send an urgent request email. Let's see. Okay, so I'm sending that email. It's going to be going out. It's sending right now. As soon as it is sent, there's a delay. As soon as it gets sent, it'll be showing up here. So it's now been sent. It should be showing up any second so that you don't have to keep waiting for it to show up. I'm just going to do a refresh. Now it's coming from Hotmail, so there is a bit of a delay. There it is. See, urgent request. So now let's go back in here. You can see when this ran the last time, it stopped right there. It's running now again. And it stopped right there because it probably did it just before the email came in the inbox. So we're going to wait just another minute, and then it's going to check again the emails to see if there's anything with the keyword. One of them is urgent. So when it does, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to run through the entire workflow and send me a notification. You can see this time all the boxes are green, and it says send alert to Ron. If we go back to the inbox, again, it'll take a few seconds for this to come in, but what's going to come in is there's going to be a notification that's going to be very obvious, as you can see right here, with the little red circle, urgent. So this is telling me this is something I need to pay attention to. And it's pointing to this email right here. And it's saying you better pay attention to it and reply to it. So that's how this particular workflow works and lets you know this is something that you need to pay attention to and to respond to. And you can see if you had a much longer list here, it would stand out right away. So this way you can just go into your email inbox, glance at it, see if you have anything like this without having to read through all of the different emails to figure out if there's anything you need to respond to. So that's the two ways that we have inbox triage done. One with a daily digest, one with real-time alerts. Either one of them you could set up yourself. This one's very simple. If you have Google Workspace and emails through them, this can be set up through N8N. It can also be set up through Zapier or Make. And so that's something that you can do that'll actually help triage your email so that you can tell what's important and what isn't. Now, if you want help in doing that, or if you want me to do that for you, you can let me know. I'm trying to help you so that you can do it if you want to on your own. But if you don't want to do it on your own, or you don't have the time, or it's more complex than you want to get involved with, then when you look below in this email, this is the last one that we did, but once this email is published, there's going to be a pinned comment right at the top, and there'll be a link for the free AI readiness assessment so that you can find out if your business is ready for AI or not. And this is a free AI readiness call where you can click this link here that goes to my calendar. And that one is one where we could actually talk and you can ask if you need help for doing something like the email triage. Thanks again for joining me on this video. I'll have another one up for you next week. If you have any comments, please put them below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel because both those things help me a lot. I like having these talks with you and I want to do more of them. And if there's a topic that you want me to cover, please put it down in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next week.